You 5-fact with 2-1. You 5-fact before taking a third base, or what do you do? Siege Expand is a good build, but after that, okay, I make it Terran vs Protoss very simple. If you're doing anything other than taking 3 bases and going for 2-1, you're doing it wrong. That's just as simple as I can make it. Nah, don't 5-fact before third base. You only need 2 factories. If you want to play extra safe, go 3 factories with armory. So basically you would siege expand, and then you would get your armory at like 6 minutes or 6:30, and then go build 2 more factories, and then build your command center. So you're on 3 factories and expand. If you're taking your third base off 5 factories, you're spending too much money early game when you don't need that much. You don't need that many units. You just need enough units to take your third base. Because when you build units too early, your econ just gets shot, which makes your 2-1 timing slower. So now obviously I haven't seen a replay of you, but I'm going to guess that your 2-1, maybe it hits before, or maybe it hits at 14 minutes, which is when you should hit 2-1. I would probably bet money that you don't attack at 14 minutes. You probably attack at 15 or 16 minutes. And once Protoss gets to 15 or 16 minutes, they will have 5 base, and they'll have a lot of gateways at their 5th base. So that means every time you have a fight, maybe you win the fight, but then they're going to be on like 25 gateways, and they're going to remax way faster than you. And then on top of it, because the gateways are in another main, you're going to get flanked. So siege expand is fine, but don't 5-fact. The only time you 5-fact is if you're going for some all-in, but in general, 5-fact, 6-fact, that doesn't work. And people, like, I always read on Discord, like, oh, 5-fact, 6-fact, good build, strong. No, it's not strong. The way you shut down 5-fact or 6-fact is you just go Reaver. If you play somebody that's very good with Reavers, you will never do a timing attack versus Protoss again, ever. Unless they're just playing absurd greedy, and you know, like, let's say you scan the robotics and their observers late. Then you might do a timing attack because you have mines that can't be cleared. But in general, timing attacks, no good. And you should just stick with 2-1. So it's good that you're doing 2-1, but you're taking your third base too slow, and you build too much stuff in the beginning that you don't need to build. Also, if you go watch your own replay, go count how many tanks you have when you attack at 2-1. If you have less than 16, that's bad. Because if even an Arbiter just gets off 1 or 2 stasis and hits like 4 or 5 of your tanks, now you're down to 12 or less. So really, you want to shoot for around 20 tanks. 18 to 20 is good. And if you produce tanks non-stop out of your 2 factories with add-ons, you'll have 18 to 20 around the 14-minute mark. I mean, there's a lot to TVP. I'm just giving like an easy to follow. I mean, TVP is my worst matchup, but I mean, I understand the basics of it. You build tanks. You don't build a bunch of vultures. They don't win you the game, and you hit upgrades. That's the TLDR of Terran vs Protoss.
I read you. Affirmative. Orders, Captain. Orders received. I read you.
Insufficient Vespine gas.
SCV good to go, sir. Orders, Captain.
It's hard to explain why timing attacks are so bad to people that have never played versus somebody with like god tier Reaver micro. You just have to trust me that Reavers just obliterate everything.
Orders, Captain? I read you. Yes, sir. Affirmative. Yes, sir. Roger that. Yes, sir. I read you.
You want a piece of me, boy? Rock and
I
roll.
read you. Right away, sir.
Standing by.
Falcon K, what's up?
Jacked up and good.
Reporting for duty. Orders received.
Your forces are under attack minerals.
Roger
So here's something you can do, since I got my... I can't do it now because it's too slow, but if I had kept that
Roger that. I read
SCV alive longer, well, this is going to be close. If I had kept that SCV alive longer, I could have gotten out of Vulture first, and then
Good to go, sir.
he wouldn't know it's on the map, and I could potentially do like a backstab when his goon's out in the open and kill probes. But if you're just trying to learn
Want a piece of me, boy?
TVP, you should avoid cutesy stuff like that. Anytime you think you're being cute, just avoid it until you get better.
I read you.
Give me
Affirmative.
something to shoot.
I mean, that's just my tip. A lot of people say like, oh, drops are good versus Protoss, which they are, but if you're a low level player, when you're doing a drop, you're probably missing out on things like hitting your upgrades or macroing or stuff like that. I also miss macro when I try to do too much stuff at once. So that's my suggestion, is just don't try and be fancy, just play like Flash as much as you can. He doesn't do fancy stuff, he just builds a bunch of tanks. It's true.
Destination?
SCV good to go, sir. I read you. Reporting for duty. Orders received. Orders, Captain?
Not enough minerals.
Right away, sir.
Not
SCV good
enough
to go,
minerals.
sir.
Not enough
Orders,
minerals.
Captain?
Destination?
Yes, sir. SCV good to go,
Not
sir.
enough minerals.
I read you.
Not enough
Reporting
minerals.
for duty.
Ready to
Orders
roll
received.
out. Yes,
Not
sir.
enough minerals.
Reporting for duty.
Research
Orders,
complete.
Captain? Right away, sir.
Orders, sir.
SCV good to go, sir. Reporting for duty.
The fact that he doesn't have range yet scares me a
Not
bit,
enough minerals.
because I know he cut it to get his Nexus faster, but it shouldn't be
SCV good
that
to go,
far
sir.
delayed. It's 40 seconds delayed. So I'm actually worried about some kind of DT, fast DT follow-up. So if he went DT, I would just straight up die,
SCV good to go, sir. Orders
because my
received.
eBay is late.
Roger that.
Ready to roll out. Yes, sir. Moving.
But also you're taking quite a gamble when you see a guy have a semi-wall off that the guy's just not gonna wall.
Job's finished. Yes, sir. I read you. Roger that. Reporting for duty. Reporting for duty. Affirmative.
enough
Right away,
minerals.
sir. Reporting for duty.
Add-on complete. Add-on complete.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure he's double expanded. He has way too little to only have that. And I don't think he had DT tech.
Add-on complete.
Right away, sir. SCV good to go, sir. Yes,
I'm
sir.
still not convinced. Even though I see nothing, I'm not convinced.
Identify target.
Not enough minerals. Not enough minerals.
SCV good to go, sir. I read you. Orders received. I read you.
Additional supply depots required.
Job SCV good to go, sir.
All right, bring it on. Oh, is that
Not
it?
enough
Job's
minerals.
finished.
I read you, sir. Something on your mind? I
SCV
did.
good to go, sir.
Identify target. I read you,
Reporting for duty.
sir. Destination? Too, sir. Something on your mind? Yeah. Identify target.
SCV good to go,
Additional
sir.
supply depots
Orders,
required.
Captain.
Yeah.
Job's finished.
I read you, sir. Yeah.
Yes, sir.
Something on your mind?
Orders, Captain.
Something on your mind?
SCV good to go, sir.
Research complete.
Orders received. Right away, sir.
Unexpected. acceptable
Yes,
landing
sir.
zone.
Absolutely, sir.
Upgrade complete.
Identify target. Orders, sir.
SCV good to go, sir.
Something on your mind? I
SCV
dig.
good to go, sir. I read you. Roger
Something on
that.
your mind? Ready to roll out. Delighted to,
Orders,
sir.
Captain.
Something on your mind?
Good to go, sir. I read you. Orders,
Your
Captain.
forces are under attack.
Sir. I dig. Yeah? Oh,
SCV good
is
to go,
that it?
sir. SCV good to
No
go, sir.
problem. Something on your mind?
Orders, Captain.
Not enough
I
minerals.
read you.
Yeah?
Additional supply depots
I can't
required.
build that. Orders, Captain.
I read you.
Good to go,
Additional
sir.
supply depots required.
Is that it?
Job finished.
Yeah, I'm going.
I read you. Orders, Captain.
Yeah? No problem.
SCV good to go, sir. I read you. Yes, sir. I can't build there. Roger that. I can't build
Orders,
it. Something's
sir.
in the way. Reporting for duty. Build there. Affirmative.
Destination?
Your
SCV good to
forces are
go,
under
sir.
attack.
SCV good to go, sir. Orders, Captain.
Orders, sir. Absolutely.
I
Ready
read
to
you.
roll out. Yes, something on your
SCV good
mind?
to go, sir.
Yeah, I'm going.
SCV good to go, sir.
I read you, sir.
Job's finished. Job's finished. Job's finished.
Something on your mind?
Not enough minerals.
Orders, Captain. Orders received.
Yeah?
SCV good to go, sir.
I read you, sir.
Yes, sir.
Additional supply
Reporting for duty.
depots
Right away,
required.
sir. Job's finished. Job's finished. Affirmative.
Ready to roll out.
Orders for duty. Orders received. Job's finished.
Your forces are under attack.
Roger that. Reporting for duty there.
Ready to roll out.
Not
Identify
enough
target.
minerals.
SCV good to go,
Absolutely.
sir.
Delighted to,
Upgrade
sir.
complete. Not
Right away,
enough
sir.
minerals.
Roger
Your
that.
forces are under attack.
Identify target. Delighted to, sir.
Reporting for duty. Job's finished. SCV good to go, sir. Job's finished.
Still no arbiter yet.
SCV
Not
good
even
to go,
started,
sir.
so that's good.
Reporting for duty.
Not enough minerals.
SCV good to go, sir.
He messed up.
Yes, sir.
His arbiter's gonna be way late.
Job's finished.
Not enough minerals.
Ready to
Good
roll
for us.
out.
Reporting for duty. I read you.
Ready to roll out. Orders,
SCV
sir.
good to go, sir.
Yes, sir.
Base is under attack.
Orders, Captain.
Destination.
Add-on
Proceed.
complete.
Reporting for duty. Orders,
Orders,
Captain.
sir.
Orders, Captain.
Absolutely.
Your forces are under attack.
Orders, sir. Absolutely.
Reporting for duty.
All right. Bring it on.
Reporting for duty.
Identify target.
I read you.
Your forces are under attack.
Orders, Captain. I read you. I can't build there.
Still nothing.
What do you want?
Okay, so
I read you,
I'm like
sir.
near positive we've just won.
All right. Bring it on.
Unless something catastrophic happens,
Job's finished.
What do you want?
such as not laying
SCV
mines.
good to go, sir.
I read you.
SCV good to go,
Ready
sir.
to roll out. Something on your mind?
Reporting for
Additional
duty.
supply depots required.
Yeah, I'm going.
Job's
All
finished.
right. Bring it on.
I read you. Right away, sir. Job's finished. Orders, Captain. Orders, Captain. Orders, Captain.
Still nothing.
Yes, sir.
I'm confused at what's going on.
Explorer reporting. Reporting for duty. Greetings, Command.
Orders, sir. Ready on your mind. What do you want? I dig.
SCV good to go, sir. Orders, Captain.
Something on your mind? Yeah?
Add-on
No,
I
complete.
read you. Orders
I
received.
read you, sir. I dig.
Greetings, Command.
No problem. Yeah?
Job's finished. Job's finished.
Yeah? Orders, sir. All right.
Reporting for
Bring
duty.
it
I
on.
can't build there. Yes, sir.
Yeah?
Your forces are under
Orders, sir.
attack.
I read you,
I read
sir.
you. Right away, sir.
Ready to roll out.
Reporting for duty. Roger that.
All
Additional supply depots required.
Job finished.
Additional supply depots required.
Job finished.
Explorer reporting. Yeah?
Job finished. For duty. I read you. Job finished. Orders received. Job finished. Job finished. Reporting for duty.
Your forces
Right away,
are under
sir.
attack.
Reporting for duty.
Ready
Right
to
away,
roll
sir.
out. Something on your mind?
Add-on complete. Add-on
Bring
complete.
it on.
Your forces are under
I
attack.
read you, sir. Yeah? I dig. No problem.
Upgrade
I
complete.
dig. No problem.
Reporting for duty there.
Add-on complete.
Ready to roll out. Bring it on. Something on your mind?
Insufficient phosphine gas. Not enough
I
energy.
read you, sir.
There's way too many dragoons.
Ready to roll out. No
Your
problem.
forces are under attack.
Job finished.
We're gonna smash.
Reporting for duty. Still there. Reporting for duty.
Orders, sir. Proceed. Something on your mind? Roll out. We have you on visual. I read you.
Upgrade complete.
Absolutely.
See, look at this. I have 23 tanks. There's no way this guy can win.
What do you want?
Have you on visual?
Job finished. Job finished.
Ready to roll out. Read you, sir. Identify target. Destination. Read you, sir. Identify target. I read you, sir.
Yes, sir. Roger that.
Orders, sir. Orders, sir.
And probably just A move, to be honest.
Destination. Identify target.
Affirmative, sir.
Your forces are under attack.
Something on your mind? Ready to roll
Reporting
out.
for duty.
Destination. Bring it on. Identify target. Yes, sir. Yeah. Oh, is that it? Destination. Proceeding.
Transmit
Upgrade
orders.
complete.
Identify target.
Greetings, Command.
Yes, sir.
Not enough energy. Your forces are under attack.
I read you.
Destination. Yes, sir. Delighted to, sir. All right. Bring it on. Identify target.
Your
Absolutely.
forces are under attack.
Yes, sir. Identify target.
Affirmative, sir.
All right. Bring it on. Delighted
Your
to,
forces
sir.
are under attack. Not enough energy.
Roll out. All right. Ready to roll out.
Roger that.
Identify target. Move it.
SCV good
Your
to go,
forces
sir.
are under attack. Insufficient phosphine gas.
Yes, sir. Proceeding. Absolutely. Proceeding. Identify target. Absolutely.
Your forces are under attack.
Delighted to, sir.
Orders, Captain? I can't build there.
Orders, sir.
Did I miss scan? Looks like I missed scan.
Proceeding. Ready to roll out. Identify target. Proceeding. Delighted to, sir. What do you want? Yeah, I'm going.
Your forces are under attack.
Yeah. Delighted to, sir.
Not enough energy.
Identify target. Delighted to, sir. What do you want?
Your forces are under attack.
I read you.
Orders, sir. Yeah.
Oh,
Your forces are under attack.
All right. Bring it on.
I can't build there.
I read you, sir. Oh, is that his destination?
I mean, there's just no way we could lose.
Delighted to, sir.
Your forces are under attack.
Absolutely. All right. Bring it on.
Quiet online.
Ready to roll out. Proceeding. Yeah. Yeah, I'm going. Yes, sir. Move it.
forces are under attack.
Identify target.
Target designated.
All right, bring it on. Ready to roll.
Oh, I didn't get
Insufficient
a.
Western forces are under attack. Not enough energy.
Get a +3.
Your forces are under attack.
Go ahead,
No
Transmit order.
Move it. Ready to roll out. Destination. Yes, sir.
Go ahead, TACOM.
Your
Identify
forces
target.
are under attack.
All right, bring it on.
Affirmative.
Explorer reporting.
All right, bring it on.
Roger that.
Receiving headquarters.
Yeah, I'm going. I read you, sir. Delighted to serve you. Is that it? Yeah?
Your
Transmitting
forces
order.
are under attack.
Excellent.
Identify target. Ready to roll out.
Orders, Captain?
Your forces are under
Identify
attack.
target. Bring it on. Yes, sir. Absolutely. Bring it on. Delighted, sir. All right, bring it on.
Greetings, Command.
Ready to roll
Your
out.
forces are under attack.
Orders, sir. Yeah. Destination. Ready
Reporting
to
for
roll
duty.
out.
I read you.
All right. Identify target.
Transmit orders.
Ready to roll out.
Excellent.
Yes, sir.
Goliath
Your
online.
forces are under
Target
attack.
designated.
Identify target. Commander. Let's move.
Affirmative, sir.
No problem. Destination. All right. Bring
Not
it
enough
on.
energy.
Destination. Yes, sir.
We have you on visual.
Ready to roll out.
Commencing.
Your forces are
Something
under
on your
attack.
mind? Ready to roll out. Identify target.
Not enough
Ready
energy.
to roll out. Absolutely.
Your forces are under attack.
Destination, sir. All right. Bring it on.
Receiving
Yes, sir.
headquarters.
Identify target. Delighted to,
Your
sir.
forces are under attack.
Orders, sir.
We should have smashed harder than that, but we didn't. Yeah, people don't seem to like to leave the game. I mean, the guy did have a lot of bases. It's just that at no point in the game did he ever have a chance. His arbiters were so late. You can't kill Terran's army with just gateway units unless it's like a super fast attack. Like, let's say you just went pure gate and maxed at like 11 minutes. Well, then there's a chance of you winning. But if you're just going to sit there and bank and then have no arbiters, that's not going to happen.